Thank you for watching this video. I hope that the messages serve you well. Hi everyone, this is Nikki K and welcome to Beyond Astro K, my YouTube channel. So guys, today I'm going to be bringing you just a little in-depth video because you know we have a T-square happening in the fixed signs, and you know when we talk about T-squares, it's to do with, like, you know, there's groups in astrology. So we have, you know, the fixed, cardinal and mutable. So when they all get together, like with the fixed, like Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus and Leo, when they all get together, it's a mixture of squaring and it's also a mixture of opposing. So when we talk about squaring and opposing, Leo and Aquarius oppose each other, and Taurus and Scorpio oppose each other. Scorpio squares Aquarius and Taurus squares Taurus squares Leo. So that's what I mean. I'm talking out in the most basic way that I understand, and hopefully you guys do too. So when people in those groups do meet up, you know you can get on, but also you can get very frustrated with each other. So what's happening, especially this week, we're gonna have, you know, Venus in Leo, which is showing a very proudness, very loving, very caring, very open emotionally, especially when it comes to love and creativity and how one dresses. It's squaring, you know, Uranus in Taurus, which is showing with Taurus, because you know I've spoken about this before, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard other astrologers speaking about this. It's very uncomfortable in Taurus, but it's also making Taurus reevaluate its position when it comes to like money. It's, you know, materialism. It's also its goals and also the body. It's shaking things up a lot in Taurus, and I'm sure a lot of Taurians, sun, moon or rising, they feel that shift, they feel that change, and some of them, you know, some of you Tauruses actively could be resisting this change, but unfortunately Uranus is not having it and it's putting change upon you. Also, I'm sure Scorpios are feeling this too. It's concerning like them relationships. So their relationships are being really like transformed, but also it's turning a lot of Scorpions' heads upside down. So, you know, but it's all about change, and Taurus and all the fixed signs, they resist change. They're fixed in their opinions, they hold things together, they're like the glue in the zodiac. So there's a lot of that going on. But with Venus being in Taurus, with Venus being in Leo, and it's squaring Uranus in Taurus, this is playing out hugely when it comes to like relationships and how relationships are going to be changing. How, you know, I'm going to be one way and I want it to stay like that. Why are you trying to change something? What other, you know, and also could we have the Cancer new moon coming up? This is going to be, you know, this Cancer new moon, I've got a video on this, so you know, check this video out, guys. But I do talk a bit about how it's going to be very dynamic with this Cancer new moon. You know, it's not going to be very eerie and, you know, as sensitive, and, you know, it's just going to be quite crazy. You know, underneath it all, things are going to be bubbling under the surface, even though we are trying to keep things, even though we are trying to control a lot of things that are happening. So, you know, with Venus squaring Uranus, you know, Venus being in Leo is actually quite nice. You know, it brings out that earthiness. It actually brings out all the things that you want to show to the world, whether it's love, creativity, how you dress, how you express yourself. It brings it all out, and it can feel very like unstable. as well, because you know Uranus is in Taurus. So this is a very challenging time. And you know, if you are in a stable like relationship, or you know where you're going, you know, when it comes to how you're expressing yourself, whether it's creatively or in how you speak, you will be fine, because it's showing you also, yes, you can go this way, but we're gonna have to try and switch things up. We're gonna have to try and find another way. So that's where the frustration can actually come. So there's going to be a lot of resistance, you know, but also there's a lot of excitement as well. So, you know, you know, even me speaking, I feel like the sort of like the bubbling of frustration happening, but also this is also a very exciting time, because these two energies took up, you know, Leo is saying to, you know, Uranus and Taurus, we're going to have to be a bit more spontaneous. We're going to have to like spice things up. We're going to have to spunk things up a bit. So, you know, with this in mind, you know, this is about experimentation. And there's going to be this sort of, you know, let's do this, but no, let's do this. Let's keep it the way it is. And you know, it's a battle. It feels like a battle. It feels very, you know, there's also this energy of being very stilted, but also you really want to go for it. But you know that if you go for it, this can actually happen, or you're thinking that this can actually happen. So it can make you just be stubborn and not just want to go there, or it can make you want to go there and sort of regret it. So can you see the craziness that can happen? But, you know, Venus square Uranus is definitely, you know, Venus is to do with relationships. So relationships are going to be playing a big part in this. But relationships also not just personal. It's relationships you have with like your bosses, relationships you have with yourself, and, you know, yes, your partner as well. But it's like general, because also let's not forget, Libra is going to feel this as well, because Libra is ruled by Venus. So Tauruses and Libra, you know, there's a certain way and a certain look that you guys are like definitely attracted to, and what you like. But this is also being turned upside down. So it's all about looking at things a bit differently. It's all about experimenting. And it's also about changing things, you know, changing like the status quo. This is what these two energies are actually saying. And, you know, yes, sudden things will happen, but there's nothing, it's not like nothing you can do about it. It's just sometimes just the way things are. But knowing that we're going to be learning from this is extremely important. Okay. And know that, with these two squares, sudden urges can happen. Sudden urges within shopping, sudden urges within, let's just try this now. And, really think about if you actually, if you are going like shopping online, really think about if you actually need what you want to buy, because there can be some regret coming on. We also have, because there's a big one coming up, we also have, Venus. It does oppose Saturn. Well, actually it's happening now. Venus opposing Saturn. And with Venus, because it's a T-square, Uranus, Saturn in Aquarius is involved. Venus in Leo is involved, and Uranus in Taurus is involved. So these arguments, these people, these planets are actually, they're vying for control, and they're also vying for, sort of power. And there's a bit of a power struggle going on. So we can also feel this within us as well, guys. So with Venus opposing Saturn, this lasts for a couple of days, but it does go, but still, we can still feel those types of energies still happening. We do say it is relationships, but there's like, it's not as harsh as the square. The square is more like you have to really work to, not only resisting change, but really work to accept change. But with Venus in Leo opposing Saturn in Aquarius, it's two different types of energy, guys, and it is, you know, I've spoken about this, but it's going to be a time that, you know, you not only are you going to be feeling away, and I say feeling away because there's things that you want to express, but you really have to think about before you express anything. And, you know, with Venus being in Leo, Leo is all about expression. Whether they're happy, sad, or angry, it's all about letting things out. And it can scare people, but the fact that it's being let out is the main thing. You know, everything is done from the heart as well. But with Saturn being in Aquarius, because Aquarius sign is, you know, traditionally is ruled by Saturn. So it's got the Saturn elements. And when these two signs come together, it's like, you look at, I've got flashy, flashy, flashy. And Saturn in Aquarius is like, oh, okay, you're going to wear that. And then you think, what, don't you like what I'm wearing? And it's like, yeah, but it's a bit too much. And then afterwards, then the Leo, Venus in Leo will start to feel a bit self-conscious. And the self-consciousness can come out in a way that is quite aggressive. Like, just because you can't dress like me, you know, that type of thing. Just giving a little role play here. So it can make, you know, us feel quite self-conscious. And this can also definitely spiral out in a relationship. You know, you're dressed your best to show your partner how, you know, this is what I intend to look like, this is what I wear, this is how my hair is. And it is a restriction. The partner doesn't like it, or the partner doesn't give a response that we would like to hear, you know. So it can make us feel misunderstood. It can also make us feel lonely. Yes, it can, you know, because when you're Saturn dominant, it can lead to like a depression, but you can feel more like sad, you know, because everything I'm trying to do, I'm feeling like restricted in it. Like I have to really go back to the drawing board. I have to, you know, really, you know, it's like I can't move forward because I have to stick to certain rules in order for me to express myself in the way that I want to. There's rules that I have to abide by, or if I don't abide by it, this is what can happen. So there's a lot of effort that will have to be made when, you know, Venus opposes Saturn. And this is also to do with work as well. You could be showing your boss, you know, that you've worked so hard on this project, you know, really proud that you've worked on this project, showing, you know, your work colleagues, this is what I've done. Look, guys, this could also definitely be creativity. And they're just like, or if you're like, or if you're like a writer and you're presenting like your editor or your publisher with the finished book, and after then they just nitpick at everything. And they tell you, oh, it's not over because, you know, you have to redraft this. And it's just like, you know, your whole confidence just goes. So that's what this opposition means, you know. And even if you're socializing with your friends, could be having lots of lovely conversations, and there's always someone putting a damper on the conversations, talking, you know, especially if you haven't seen your friends for a long time, and you're, you know, when you see each other, you know, you obviously both look different, but, you know, there's so much you want to say, and you say it, and, you know, you started something new within your life, and they're just like, are you sure, you know, maybe you should plan this more, so you can actually start second guessing yourself. So this is what this opposition can actually do. But obviously you can work with it, you know. It's just about finding a way that, you know, it doesn't mean you any harm. It's just that sometimes before we rush and proceed forward and do something very quickly, there's things that we just have to do before we show the world. But the big thing that we have with this, you know, because what can actually help us, so there is frustrations along the way, but, you know, we, you know, especially like next week, we have the Venus conjunct Mars. Now, Venus conjunct Mars is a 2-year transit, yeah? And this 2-year transit, the last one we had was 2019, and it was in Cancer. So we're still in that Cancer energy. So if you're Cancer dominant, if you've got a lot of dominant Cancer energies in your chart, with Venus being in Cancer, this was obviously to do with, like, you know, finding like love within your creativity, but also in your home. You know, elements of the roots coming back, your heritage. If you were going to be doing any type of like investing, especially with Mars being there, the Mars and the drive and energy would, you know, you'll proceed with your things that you love, but in not in a fast way. There could be elements of like passive aggressiveness, but also, you know, you're very much in your feelings. And even, you know, when it comes to like fighting for what you wanted, it was fighting for family, fighting for heritage. I even feel that in London that this played out even more, because in London this moon sign is Cancer, is a Cancer moon. So there was this heavy element of like keeping heritage, fighting for heritage, keeping things how things used to be. So there was all that energy. And even when it does come to like, you know, earning money or investing money, it will be investing money that is, my mind just always goes blank on this, but you know, money that is invested in like, you know, like old, how can I, not old homes, but you know, real estate. Yeah, lots of like real estate, lots of, you know, roots, and you know, having lots of family. There's may have been like a lot of family businesses that actually came up during 2019 till now, but also just lots of emotional connection. And some of the emotional connection I do feel from 2019 till now was like, some of it was held in, and when it did come out, it came out like sort of like the wrong way. Some of the arguments that came out was obviously to do with like the past as well. So there was that energy, and I know that we all felt that on a level. But if you were like water sign or Cancer dominant, you felt it even more. Now that it's in Leo, this is going to be played out to the world, and it's going to feel uncomfortable for some people. It will actually benefit some people. So if your sun, moon, or rising in Leo, I'll say like 18 degrees. So that's like if you're like second decan Leo, I'll probably say like from the 3rd to like the 11th of, I could be wrong, but I know it is second degrees Leo. So if you're born from the 2nd of August till the 11th or 12th of August, you're going to feel this the most. But it's still going on to like the 3rd decan, but it's mostly the 2nd decan. So you're going to feel this the most. It's a Jupiter decan. Yes, it's a very positive one. So what does this do? So this is what these two energies are, what these two energies is showing us is that this is a great time for us to really be, you know, sort of like going out there. Yeah. And yeah, it's the 3rd degrees. Just check now. It's actually the 3rd degree. So if you are born between the 12th and the 22nd of August, you're going to feel this the most. So it's an Aries degree. So things are going to start being more fired up. You know, with Venus and Mars being in Leo, the conjunction, I don't know how long, we haven't had this in a while, but we're going to see a huge change coming up, and there's going to be a lot more vocal in expressing ourselves, vocal in how we want to be treated, vocal in, you know, with when it comes to, you know, because Leo is the 5th house, it is creativity. So there's going to be a lot more vocal expression. We're going to be very proud to express ourselves. We're not going to be ashamed to, nor should we be, you know. I don't want to go too political, but don't be surprised if you see people on the streets. Yeah, because this is for 2 years. This is ending in 2023. And this is, for you know, and if you are like fixed signs, yes, this will square you, but you can also really move forward as well. You will find it hard at times, but also this will give you a lot of fire and energy. And with Mars being in Leo as well, this is, you know, if you are Mars in Leo, happy Mars return. You know, you're going to definitely benefit from this. Even if your chart is very water or earth or air dominant, but you have a Mars in Leo or you have a Mars in a fire sign, you are going to be at your strongest. You're going to be showing yourself more at the leader that you are supposed to be. Should I say, you know, I was thinking of saying, you know, even if it's your North Node, check if your North Node's in Leo as well. Also, you know, obviously Sun, Moon or Rising. Check your Mars placement as well. Check your house placement. Check where Leo is in your house placement. So if this is like your first house, you know what time it is. You know, it's that time to like really show yourself. If it's in like your second as well, you know, when it comes to like your resources, you're really gonna go there. When it comes to like the third house, this is how you're communicating, how you're writing and speaking. Don't be surprised if you're doing much more like podcasting, or, you know, if you've got work to be put out there. If you're like a writer as well, your writing could be taken on a different turn, very, you know, very outspoken, but also, you know, a lot of your work can actually be seen and so on. So this is for 2 years, like I've said how many times. So what this actually does for us, guys, is also it pushes us into like a new direction when it comes to like our, you know, relationships and also our energy and drive. And you know Mars rules sex, so expect a lot of us to be very dominant when it comes to, you know, but also, you know, it's about, you know, it's going to be very romantic as well. You know, it's going to be very confident time, and there's going to be a lot of like huge desire to like relate to people, whether it's sexual or whether it's, you know, want to be making new friends, and we want to really be satisfied now. And it can be very raw, but also, you know, even like how we look is going to be, it might even take on this whole new glamorous turn. So it's about being attractive. It's about, you know, getting your glad rags out. It's also to do with creativity as well. So this is really great to be creative, guys. And I do feel we're going to see a lot more fixed signs being more out there, being, you know, not just being outspoken, but a lot of fixed signs, creative work going to definitely be out there, because this driving energy to the Venus and Mars conjunction is going to be putting so much like work and, you know, inspiration that you will not fail to notice these people. So with all the squares that is happening, guys, this Venus conjunct Mars is going to be like sort of like the cherry on the cake for a lot of us. Yeah. And remember, Mars also rules physical fitness as well. So also expect to see, you know, people really going for it when it comes to like their fitness. You know, I know a lot of gyms are open now, so, you know, there could be people start wearing like some crazy workout clothes, and, you know, really going for it, really wanting to make their, you know, their physical, like their, you know, they really want to look good. Yeah. And, you know, and also sticking to a routine. This is about sticking to a routine. So, you know, you may be your fittest, maybe for the next 2 years, maybe at your fittest. And, you know, with Leo being a fixed sign as well, this gives, you know, it's going to be, you know, not only are you want to look your best, you're going to be at your best too. So it does end really well. And yes, a lot of like Tauruses and Aquarius and Scorpios will feel really like, "Ugh," but still the drive and energy for this, you know, this conjunction, it will change you in a way that you never knew you had. It's going to bring out something. It's going to bring out a fire that you never knew you had. And it's going to bring out a confidence. It's going to bring out inspiration. You know, this is about a change that is going to be coming within all of us, even around the world. Doesn't matter what country it is to. There's going to be like this huge change. And, you know, Leo is a very positive sign too. It's all about the heart. So everything that we are doing, everything that, even whether it's how we're dressing, how we're speaking, how we're positioning ourselves, is all from the heart, guys. So don't, you know, what this conjunction and the planets are actually saying, you know, really go for it, you know. And if you are very lucky to be, you know, having like your country opened as well now, this is great to be hosting, like, well, obviously it might be social distance parties, but you know, we're going to be so happy to be seeing our friends, because this is also a great time to be meeting new friends or meeting up with friends that you haven't seen for a long time. But the main thing is that the confidence is there. You know, things are going to be stirring within us, this fire and this big love we want to give to the world. We want to give to like people we love. And it's just going to be more out there. It's not to say that there's some downsides, because there is. You know, the downside could be that, you know, we can be very over domineering. We can be very controlling. We could be, you know, wanting to be seen all the time. And why are you not looking at me? There can be some arguments as well. The arguments can be very quick and fiery. It can just blow up out of nowhere. But most of it is to do with, you know, a lack of confidence, feeling very insecure. This is what this conjunction can actually bring. If also, you know, relationships, if they are on a shaky ground, you know, they can break very quickly, or it can be very slow. Remember, this fix. So relationships may break because someone's not getting what they need. Someone is bored. Someone is, you know, someone's not making an effort. Someone is not, you know, showing love and appreciation, because Leo is all about showing, you know. And if I'm showing you something and you're resisting it, then I'm gonna find it somewhere else. So this is one of the themes that can actually happen. But if your relationship is quite solid, expect to change, expect much more fun, should I say, but also, you know, expect to love more. You know, and also we can actually fall more in love with things, and children can happen. You know, there could be more, because, you know, Cancer's more childbearing, but Leo is the 5th house. So yeah, maybe expect to see like more pregnancies along the way, people talking about children, people wanting to work more with children, but in a sense of, you know, teaching children, you know. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw more pregnancies, and, you know, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, basically. And also being inspired by your own children as well. And also us ourselves, guys, we can get a bit more childlike in the play and our creativity and having fun, because the 5th house is about fun. So there's a huge energy of 5th house energy that's going to be happening for the next 2 years, guys. And, you know, it's not to say you mustn't listen out for the dark side of it, because there is, you know, this is what can happen. But the fun side as well, we have to also try to remain fun, try to remain, you know, not constantly, because it's just not normal, but, you know, try to remain, you know, if there's something that you want to pursue now, don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to do it, because that's what Leo is all about. And Leo is a sign that there's always tend to be some type of drama around them, whether it's they've caused it or they're around it. So there can be a lot of drama that's coming up. And, you know, people, or we want to be heard now. Okay, we want to be heard now. So, like, even like on a worldly scale, you know, you can expect to see a lot of resistance, lots of resistance. You know, this could be, you know, your bosses, or, you know, anyone higher up, and they're trying to impose restrictions on you, and you're like, no, 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 no. So expect to see a lot of that happening. And also, because it's like the number 19, it's the number 19 is, you know, it's the actual day. It does represent like new beginnings. It's fresh starts as well. You know, there can be lots of like, because number 1 is like new beginnings. Number 9 is endings. So when you combine these two together, there's like an ending, but it's also, you know, and there's like mornings to an end. But also number 9 is to do with humanitarianism work as well. The number 9 in tarot is, my mind just went completely blank. I apologize. But the number one is the Uranus card. And as you guys know, the Uranus card is the Fool card. Yes, with this 19 for the next, with this 19, so with the Uranus card being very active, because, with the Fool card is, the Fool card is about, going your own way. Even if you don't know where you're going, you are going your own way. So, and it's also exciting journey that's going to be happening too. The number 9 card, my mind went blank. We are out of Mercury retrograde, right? Number nine is actually the Hermit card. So we're starting, when you combine these two energies together, we're going to be going on a new journey. We may not know where we're going, but we are ready for it. Whether this could be like a new love, a new creativity, a new project, a different style of dressing, but also there's not a lot of fear happening. We're going to be dressed in if you see the Fool card, it's dressed in its best clothes with a little bag with very little possessions. But I'm on the journey. I'm going to be learning about life. I'm going to also be learning about myself. If you want to come with me, that's great. But if not, I'll just go by myself. If I feel that you are not my type of people or person or lover, or this is the type of thing I want to do, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to dance the beat of my own drum. With the Hermit card, which is the Virgo card, is a time of, being within, going within ourselves. It's also a time that there's mental activity going on, but we also have to listen to what's being said. Because with the Hermit card, it's a Mercury card. And the Mercury card and the Hermit Mercury card is lots of conversations, secret conversations that we are having with ourselves. And it is like a spiritual card, but it's also mostly to do with the spiritual card, but it is mostly because sometimes when I pick up this Hermit card, I do like it. I do, because sometimes I do feel like the actual hermit. So it is showing us that, with this conjunction, it is also showing us that we do need to obviously take care of our health, take care of, listen to our body, listen to the messages that are coming, because I do feel, that a lot of us are going to be on this big health kick. And we have to also listen to, if we are taking up a new workout regime, for instance, are you doing it for vanity, or are we doing it for health? Because Virgo is about the health. So really listen to your body. That's what this card is saying. But also listen to what's going on. Listen to what's going on within. And also not being afraid to be alone sometimes. Having times by yourself is going to be very important, because I do feel that the energy is going to be so busy. We're going to be a lot of us are going to be, especially if you've got dominant fixed signs, especially Leo, you're going to be very busy. So, you're working out, you're taking care of yourself, you're meeting up with friends, but also the other side of this is seeking solitude as well, and not being afraid to seek solitude. Really focus, it's some of us could also get a spiritual enlightenment that can be going on. So we do need to have time by ourselves and, learn. Remember, this is Mercury, learning, reading up on things. If we're not very confident, if we're not feeling very, if we don't know some subjects, for instance, during this conjunction, read up on it, so that you can be proud and confident to tell people, this is what you've learnt. This can be spiritual, but it can also be just personal books you've always wanted to read. So, on one hand, it is big, you're going on a new journey. But on the other side, it's like, okay, but when I'm having my downtime, this is what I would like to do. I like to listen to my body, listen to, you know, what my intuition is also saying. If you see the Hermit card, it is a very lonely card, but it's not just that, you know. And also, you know, even on a love situation with this Hermit card, you know, there may not be as much communication. There may be a lot of communication, but sometimes it's just about, you know, spending time with someone and just chilling. We don't have to do anything all the time. We can just rest and relax with ourselves. So I do feel that these two energies, you know, will be playing out with this, you know, with these, the Uranus card, the Fool card, and the Hermit card. These two energies will definitely be playing out during this Venus-Mars conjunction until 2023. So guys, that was my take on the T-square and the the Venus-Mars conjunction. I hope you like this video. You know, please, you know, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also check out Empath Butterflies Tarot, who navigates their way during the who does readings on general and love for all the tarot, on the tarot and all the sun signs. And, you know, feel free to like leave comments as well and tell me how this T-square has gone for you, or even how this conjunction has gone for you, even though it's starting next week. So thank you very much, guys, for listening, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye.